Toon Fanatics, and welcome to Toon Corner. And today we are doing a cartoon battle between two superhero cartoon shows made by Warner Brothers during the 1990s and starring two DC superheroes. This is Batman, the animated series, versus Superman, the animated series. Let the battle begin. Round 1, the plot. In Batman, the animated series, you have Batman protecting Gotham City from crime as well as facing villains like the Joker, Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, Two-Face, and many others. While in Superman, the animated series, you have Superman protecting the citizens of Metropolis while also facing villains like Lex Luthor, for example. I would say the Batman, the animated series, as well as the Batman movie, directed by Tim Burton, were pretty much the ones I would actually consider as revolutionary for its time. Because before the movie and the animated series, Batman was this over-the-top, campy superhero that pretty much lost its darkness that it originally had in the comics. And it was like that ever since the 1960s when Adam West took on the role of Batman in the 1960s TV show and kind of changed who Batman is. So from the 1960s all the way to like the late 80s and early 90s, I actually would refer to as the Adam West era. So I think, in my opinion, I would say that the Batman movie directed by Tim Burton, as well as Batman the animated series, were pretty much the ones that had put an end to the Adam West era of Batman. Batman the animated series, I would say plot-wise, I felt like is actually like a character-driven show. Now, the thing is, when it comes to like the character driving as well as the character development, I felt like that the villains are the ones that are doing like the driving. They're actually moving the plot along, and Batman is just along for the ride, and he is doing his best to maintain the chaos and madness. And Superman, the animated series, I felt like that the show is pretty much staying true to the comics while also updating themselves a little bit and also telling us, unique stories. One episode in particular I really enjoyed the most is the episode where Lois Lane went into another dimension where Metropolis was a apocalyptic world that was ruled by Superman and Lex Luthor. And pretty much, in my opinion, I would personally say that's my favorite episode in the show. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this round with a tie. Round 2, the characters. In Batman the animated series, Batman basically has the mind of a detective. And whenever he faces a bad guy, he waits until the bad guy throws the first punch, and then he actually would put up a good fight. And after Batman defeats villains like Harley Quinn and Baby Doll, for example, he actually does feel sympathy. He actually does feel sorry for the villains because a lot of the villains that he would face are patients from Arkham Asylum. And a lot of the villains there had faced some sort of trauma or mental health issue. I would say, in my opinion, Batman the animated series pretty much did the whole misunderstood villain thing before it actually became a thing in Hollywood. And I felt like it did its job very well with, that kind of, trend before it even became a trend. Because the thing is that there are a lot of episodes that would feature Harley Quinn, and from time to time, a lot of people, whether it's Batman, whether it's Poison Ivy, or whether some random person from Gotham City, they were telling Harley Quinn that, hey, you're better off without the Joker. Because the thing is that, and it's been like that, from one animated show to the next, ever since Harley Quinn, became the Joker's henchwoman. The thing is that the Joker does make a great villain, but he does not make a good boyfriend. So I think that's the one thing that Harley Quinn was having a hard time learning throughout the series, and of course, we later on learn in another show. So, and like I said back in round one, the villains are the ones that are carrying the plot, and Batman is along for the ride, containing the chaos and the madness. So, yeah, the characters as well as the plot, just melded in so well together, because when you have the cast that are heavily involved with the plot, whether it's Batman teaming up with Robin or Batgirl, or you have Harley Quinn kind of going through her own thing. I mean, the thing is, not only we're attached to the characters, but we're also engaged in the plot as well. We're engaged. We want to know what happens to the characters in various episodes. For Superman, the animated series, I mean, to me, I felt like the characters were pretty much updated, and the best example I actually would give to that is it's Lois Lane. Lois Lane went from being a damsel in distress to being this caring character that has a snarky attitude and is willing to fight back whenever she is provoked. And so, also another thing is that the villains in the show, I felt like, have came prepared. I mean, so far I've seen every villain I've seen in the show seems to be prepared with kryptonite, whether it's part of their armor or they just happen to have kryptonite in their pockets. I mean, seriously. The thing is that the villains in the show, when fighting Superman, they pretty much put up a really good fight. And that's the cool part about the show, is that the villains are not outmatched. They are willing to put up a good fight, and that's because they have kryptonite. That's my only explanation. So, and with all that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and give this round to Batman the Animated Series. After doing some simple math, the final score is 2-1 Batman the Animated Series. To me, Batman the Animated Series, I would say, in my opinion, is the best animated version of Batman. If not the best, then maybe one of the top 3 best animated shows starring Batman. Now, for Superman the Animated Series, we appreciate the unique stories, the updated characters, the villains that actually put up a fair match with Superman, and also staying true to the comics. I felt like with Superman, the animated series, I mean, if you were to ask someone to imagine an animated version of Superman, this might be the version that a lot of people might think of or probably have, fond memories of. And that question of the day is, which show did you enjoy the most? Batman the Animated Series or Superman the Animated Series? Just let me know in the comment section down below. Feel free to leave any requests. And I'll see you next time in Toon Corner.